cavalry, half infantry, and then surround this army with the raiding cavalry from the back and the infantry from the front. That's the best way to fight the Greek army with the Norse, at least in my opinion. Adafang sitting on a big bulk of 2,500 gold. It's going to be interesting to see where that gets spent into, if he decides to start trading it, or if he's just banking that because he has no gold mine left and he needs to spam out trade. There is a hill fort here protecting this trade route. However, if Berserker decides to run around here, he can get around here in order to take out these markets. However, the Heliopolite of Berserk are going to come in here and attempt to take out this location. He's decided that this location is kind of bad because of the trees here. He's not really getting enough surface area to attack into it. The arrow fire up the town center and the hill fort just doing too much. So over in this location he goes. The Heliopolite doing massive amounts of damage to the fortified town center. However, Masons is getting researched. Gonna probably prolong the life of this fortified town center for a little bit longer, but I still think it's going to go down. But regardless of it being able to go down, it might not be able to go back up for Berserker, just because the whole army of 180 population army of Adafang coming in here, heavy raiders as well, so that's going to be even more. A bunch of villagers converting into Ulfsark, so that's an even larger army of Adafang. He's also got the armory upgrade advantage and the economy upgrade advantage, so he's going to be able to push through even harder, and the surround going there, killing off every single one of Berserker's Greek units. Berserker going to have to retreat out of here. The tower is not going to do anything at all. However, with this Chimera, I might be able to deal a little bit of damage, or hopefully a lot of damage, but we'll see what it can do. There aren't really any myth unit counters at the moment for Adafang, so he's probably going to want to get out a bunch of Ulfchilds to deal with this Chimera, or just prioritize it and focus it down. For the moment, it looks like Berserker's sitting on that 140 supply. However, his whole army is being spent just wandering over, so it's not actually with him. Adafang, on the other hand, 150 supply army, but again, his whole army's not over. It's all just wandering over because he's prioritizing slow infantry units like throwing axemen and the Huskarl. They aren't really getting over into the fight. However, the watchtowers are going up for for Berserker, and Berserker's probably going to try and grab this town center for another time. He doesn't have the upgrade that Aphrodite gives you, which basically allows you to build a little bit faster, or a lot faster, so this town center will probably get up a little bit easier if he did. Huskarl really trying to just pick off a couple of these villages, one villager, and then he's just going to try and rebuild that again. He does have the units here at the moment to hold on and probably get this up, but this ledge right here is the story. Ballister, really just positioning right here, can really take out here. They have the 30 range or something like that. Going to be able to just shoot down this town center without any worry of getting pushed. Also, the other thing to be wary about is, yes, Berserker still has a gold mine, but he doesn't have any trade. His trade is not going. He has full supply, so it's not going to be able to be popped anytime soon. So there's going to be a timing where Berserker's going to run out of gold, run out of population space, having to repopulate that space with trade caravans, and Adafang's going to be able to use that timing to his advantage in order to push through and take out this town center. That is, if Berserker doesn't manage to get a trade route set up in that time. He's only got, 2,800 gold left, so it doesn't look like he's going to be able to set up a substantial trade route. However, Berserker's going to try and push in here and kill off his opponent's trade route. If you can, basically, gold is what you need in this game. If you run out of gold, you can't produce you can't produce army. So if you can have cut gold, you got to cut gold. So that's what Berserker's doing right now. However, in fighting in this location, a lot of these caravans, these really tanky caravans, are getting prioritized instead of the infantry of the enemy army. So basically, it looks like Adafang's really doing more damage to his opponent. However, hoplites are beasts, especially the champion hoplites, so they're really tanky and they can hold on quite a long time. However, if we just look at Adafang, actually no, he actually doesn't have that much gold. It surprises me considering how long he's had this trade route for. If Berserker can get into this location again and kill off a bunch more of these Ox caravans, that's going to be a big win for him. However, again, that gold mine looks like it's going to be running out very soon. Doesn't have the population space to build, not even building them, so he's actually not thinking about it, so that could be a little bit bad for him. Especially also because he's maxing champion hoplites, which is slow. They're easily going to be able to be surrounded and picked off at that timing, and then he's not going to be able to re-max his army, so it'll be interesting to see exactly what he decides to do, what exactly Adafang decides to do. Adafang also really needs to buy champion infantry. His Ulfsarks and everything are competing with Berserker's infantry at the moment, just because fully upgraded hoplites are really strong, and they aren't even fully upgraded right now, and they're still causing a lot of damage. Berserker now looks like he's just, I'm not exactly sure, trying to do some sort of multi-pronged attack, hitting this location and probably hitting this location, just trying to spread out the army of Adafang, and then trying to really attack hardest where he sieges. However, I don't think it's gonna be that effective with architects, which Adafang does have. He's going to be able to hold on to this location relatively easily, because Poseidon hoplites, they don't have a siege bonus like the Zeus hoplites do, so really not going to be that effective at pushing through with the hoplites. But the Helioplite is here, and he might want to consider buying that upgrade for it. Doesn't have the gold though in order to do so, so it's not going to be as effective. Adafang has upgraded his infantry now to champion, so they're going to be doing a bunch more damage and have a bunch more hit points, so they can be more effective basically at taking out this hoplite force, which they are doing. But on the flip side, Berserker trying to push in here, but he doesn't have any of the siege which he needs. I really believe at this point this attack is worthless. There's a bunch of buildings here, it's not going to do anything. This attack is where you want. If you can take out this location, then you have no worry of this town center going down through battles to fire, and also you cut off a really strong trade route. The next best trade route for Adafang, if this location here is taken, is probably here, which is it's just bad as well, because Berserker can then push in again. He can put it up here and then trade down here, but again that's not a long distance at all. At the moment he's getting, if I check, he's getting 104 gold a trip, whereas Berserker only getting 19 gold, 55 gold. Yeah, 55 gold a trip. So the trade route of Adafang are really powerful now. That's the story. If Berserker can push into this position, he can really change the tides of this game. It looks like he's going in and doing a little bit of a harassment here on this trade route, but there's just so many ox carts. If he kills them, he's pretty much just getting pop space for Adafang at this stage of the game. Adafang's sitting on 1800 gold. That's a couple of armies there, basically. 1800 gold. Especially because he's got these super powerful champion All-Starks, which have all of their fully upgraded upgrades. That's a great word right there. The Forseti upgrade, the Bragi upgrades, and the tier upgrades, in order just absolute monsters of units. And they're also really good at just running through here and then walling off or throwing up towers. And there is Berserker's gold mine extinguished. He's only got a trade route at the moment of probably, is it 20? I hope it's 20. If it is, then it's a good trade route, but it looks like it's only about 15. So he's going to be strapped for cash for a little bit until he can push that trade route up to more like 14, up to more like 20 or 25. And you can see he's noting this, and he's going to retreat a little bit, but retreat to what? He's still fighting the same fight that he would have fought over here, except I don't know. Adafang probably just waiting. He knows that this location is a good spot to take out this town center from, and he's just waiting till he has the right amount of ballast to do so. And then he'll position them up here, and then just start destroying this fortified town center. On the other side, Adafang also needs to think about taking out Berserker's trade route now. Berserker doesn't have a gold mine, so the trade route is his only source of gold, and if he can get in here, wall it off, throw up some towers, then that'll be a big win for Adafang. Adafang now picking off his opponent's siege with his own siege, but Berserker doesn't take any of that. He's going to be just running with his entire army and then try and pick off all of these ballista, but Adafang's playing smart, just simply retreats them back, forcing the fight underneath the tower fire, losing a bunch of units which he shouldn't be really using in other situations, but that's what's going on. And Berserker going to be retreating his Petropoli a little bit back in order to kill off these Ulfsark which are trying to pick off the Petropoli. A little bit of... No, there's no attacks over here. Oh yeah, the Hillfort going at the barracks, seeing if it can eventually take that one down. However, Adafang getting a little bit aggressive here. He's trying to set up this position right here. If he can throw up another Hillfort or a bunch more towers, then this attack will be next to impossible to stop. He also should consider buying... Oh, he has all of the upgrades for the ballista, so they're going to be doing a massive amount of damage to the fortified town center. Look at it, just... It's a little bit sad. It's not going down as fast as I would have hoped, but I suppose that's because they aren't all attacking it yet. The positioning isn't quite right. It looks like... Oh, he was trying to pick off the Petropoli, not the town center. Now he's going to probably be able to pick off that Petropoli and then continue focusing down that town center. But again, the army of a Berserker just pushing in here, attempting to take out the towers and everything else, and then get into this trade route. Adafang being very ballsy, just throwing up towers everywhere. He's not exactly fighting with his units, he's pretty much just holding on until he can pick off this town center. However, the military academy, for some reason, are taking the bulk of the fire here. So now is when the pure damage of the ballista are coming into a pure effect to take out this fortified town center. But there's so many villages repairing right now. He might want to even consider grabbing another 10 just to continue holding on to this so he can push through, because he is pushing through at the moment. He doesn't want to lose this town center because that's another 20 population behind, which he really doesn't want. So we're going to see if he actually managed to hold on to this, but it doesn't look like he's going to, because he's not sending any more villages over here, and this town center is just going to fall down. That could be a massive loss for Berserker. Not going to be able to do anything, and the Fenris Wolfbrood coming in as well, going to be able to clean up the villages, trying to rebuild this town center, and everything else as well. There's one hero here. It will fall extremely fast if focused down and easily microed as well. The Fenris Wolfbrood's going to retreat now. Possibly can even come over here and kill off a bunch of these caravans, or even just retreat back here once the heroes of Berserker have been killed off. And which he does. He's coming back now. He's going to be attempting to kill off the villagers which are hiding inside of this fortress. He's going to do a bunch of damage to it and then probably just retreat, or just a little bit of mini micro right now. Trying to keep as many as possible while doing as much damage to that fortress. He is sitting on 33 favor as well, so he can build some more of those Fenris Wolfbroods if he does lose them, or if he feels like he wants to put a little bit more supply into those Fenris Wolfbroods. And again, Adafang can wall this location off again and then just continue to siege this settlement, and it will never get up. But maybe what Berserker should think about doing at the moment, he does have 10,000 wood, so he really doesn't need to have any villagers mining wood for a long time. You might want to just consider throwing probably 60 villagers over here in order to get this town center back up. That's what he's struggling for. It's not the gold, it's not the wood or the food or the resources at all. It's the fact that he doesn't have this town center and this population. He really needs to just send that many villagers over here in order to build it. But looks like Adafang's a little bit ahead of him. If you notice, the scores have sort of evened up. That's because Adafang's converted a bunch of his villages into Ulfsarks, and his economy isn't quite as efficient as it was before. That's why the scores have sort of evened up a little bit. But Berserker doesn't have the population to deal with what Adafang's got at the moment, and all of these Fenris Wolfbroods dealing obscene amounts of damage to the town centers, going to be able to come in as well and just wreak havoc. He can't stop it. You just can't stop the Fenris Wolfbroods unless you have like Mass Pestutious Ra or something of that sort, which he doesn't. He's got 4 heroes and maybe some centaurs which could kill off maybe one if lucky, but really he needs a fair few of them, and she doesn't have. There's more towers, offensive towers getting put up, but it doesn't look like Adafang's really throwing any more of those those ballista out at all either. So this town center is it's